You ever notice how some brands, they don't just sell you a thing, right? They sell you an idea, a feeling, an entire identity. They somehow manage to create this huge cultural shift that's way bigger than whatever product they're selling. So let's dive into exactly how they pull that off. I mean, think about these three words. For Nike, this was so much more than just a catchy slogan. It was a flat-out declaration. It didn't just sell sneakers. It literally defined what it meant to be an athlete for entire generations. It was a command, a philosophy, and a rallying cry, all rolled into one. And that really is the big question we're tackling here. How in the world do you go from a simple tagline to the foundation of a whole community? What's that hidden architecture that turns a regular brand into a real, genuine movement? Well, it turns out there's a super powerful psychological blueprint behind it all. Okay, so to really understand how these modern movements get built, we've got to go back and look at the psychological groundwork, the foundation that was laid by the most iconic brands ever. And here's the thing, they weren't just guessing. Nope, they were tapping into some really deep-seated human drivers. Now, there are a whole bunch of these core psychological levers, things like social proof, scarcity, stuff like that. But for what we're talking about today, we're going to zero in on two of the most powerful ones. These two are absolutely crucial for building a movement: identity over product and this thing called authority signaling. So here's the crucial shift in thinking. Nike, they're not just selling shoes. They're selling you the identity of an athlete. Apple isn't just selling computers, they're selling you the identity of a creator. And think about it, people will fight for, protect, and invest in an identity way more than they ever would for just an object. It's all about who you believe you're becoming. And that brings us right to that second lever, authority. The most powerful brands, they just don't ask for your permission. They declare things. Just do it. Think different, right? Those aren't suggestions. They're confident, take it or leave it statements. And that level of certainty, man, it creates this gravitational pull that's almost impossible to resist. Okay, so let's take these classic principles and see how they're being used right now, today. We're going to break down this absolutely brilliant case study. It's a framework for a modern movement that just masterfully applies these exact same psychological triggers in our digital world. So the modern-day version of a slogan like "just do it," well, it's called an activator phrase, and its job is super specific and really fascinating. It's not just about being catchy. It's built to challenge a core belief that you already have, and then, in the same breath, offer you a new, much more empowering identity. Let's see this in action because it makes it really clear. You've got the parent brand, the big mission, which is be better, do better, live better. Okay, so what's the activator phrase? What's the just do it for this movement? It's the declaration, self-care is not selfish. Boom, it hits you right where you live, confronting that guilt so many of us feel. And to really solidify this new identity, the movement lays out a manifesto. Just look at some of these lines. Burnout is not a badge of honor. Wow, guilt has no place in caring for yourself. See what's happening? Each one of these is like a little permission slip, building this whole new set of beliefs that says, this is what it means to be one of us. So, okay, if Nike is selling athleticism and Apple is selling creativity, what is this movement selling? The answer is wholeness. And that right there is the huge strategic pivot. It's not about a transaction anymore, like buying a course. It's about a transformation, a journey toward becoming a more whole, rested, and effective person. But look, having a belief is one thing. Actually making it a habit is a whole other ballgame. So how does the movement keep reinforcing this new identity week after week? Well, it uses this really simple, super repeatable, and psychologically smart content engine. This weekly rhythm is it's genius in its simplicity. Okay, so on Monday, you get Permission Day. It validates how you feel and says, hey, you're not wrong for needing a break. Then Wednesday is Reset Day, giving you a small, easy action to take so you build some momentum. And Friday, that's Future You Day. It paints this picture of the person you're becoming. It's this perfect weekly cycle of reinforcement. All right, so let's talk about how this all connects to a model that can actually last. A movement needs infrastructure, right? It can't just be vibes. And this is where the transformation funnel comes in, guiding people from just being curious all the way to deep integration. The pathway is designed to be totally frictionless. It kicks off with a free, high-value challenge that builds trust and gets the habit started. From there, it moves into live experiences where you can really feel the difference. And then finally, it leads to a premium offer for people who are ready to go all in. See? It's a natural journey, not some aggressive sales pitch. So, as we start to wrap this up, what's the big takeaway here? It's that this is so much more than just a clever marketing campaign. It's really a masterclass in how to build a modern movement, something with real, actual, lasting impact. This quote really gets right to the heart of why this works so well. See, most brands sell aspiration, which can honestly just make you feel like you're not good enough. This model does the exact opposite. It starts by giving you permission to be tired, permission to pause, permission to care for yourself without feeling guilty about it. And that permission, that's the key that unlocks the entire transformation. And that, right there, is the final, most crucial point. What we've just gone through, it isn't a content plan, it's not a checklist for your social media. It's the architecture. It's the infrastructure that holds up an entire belief system. It positions the leader not as some influencer, but as a trusted guide on a journey you're taking together. Because ultimately, that activator phrase, self-care is not selfish, is the key that unlocks the door to that much bigger mission, to help people be better, do better, and live better. It's just a powerful reminder that building a better life, well, it doesn't start with more hustle. It starts by coming back to yourself,